I think we were both pretty happy with this other one that we found, which is the
Yeah.
Harold Lloyd picture High and Dizzy.
Great. Loved it. So much fun. Both of these are very like wacky, silly comedies. I really liked One Week, but I think High and Dizzy I liked a little bit more because High and
Hmm.
Dizzy is like I was really kind of blown away by how much I liked this one.
Yeah, uh the basic idea is, for some reason, it's kind of incidental that Harold Lloyd is playing a doctor. They get like a couple doctor gags in for like 5 minutes out of the 35-minute film,
Yeah.
uh, and and then it quickly becomes irrelevant that he's a doctor because the main thing is that he's drunk. Uh,
Right.
so uh, he encounters a colleague who is brewing some of his, or distilling some of his own liquor,
Some
and
hooch.
he's making some hooch in his office,
Yeah.
which is a very timely reference to the prohibition that had happened.
Yeah, it's like right away, like presumably like months after this law was enacted, they're making a goofy comedy about it and how
About
people like
illegal drinking.
right, but I mean how people like immediately just started making their own liquor like at home.
Yeah, yeah, it's super interesting to see that depicted. Like I had kind of thought that during Prohibition, all of this like speakeasy style stuff was like so much more hush hush and like clandestine than something like a mainstream movie star like making something about.
Mhm.
Um, truly the Pineapple Express of its day.
How many more of these jokes can we make?
They get drunk, and I guess the hooch is starting to like explode. It's boiling over, and so they've got to drink it all really fast, and they get just extremely wasted. uh they walk out of the doctor's office and start kind of stumbling around the city, getting into hijinks related to
Mhm.
being drunk, including
Hijinks
trying to,
ensue.
yeah, including trying to act normal around a cop.
Yeah.
um uh there, especially by Charlie Chaplin, I feel like there has been a good amount of physical comedy of people being drunk in these movies.
Mhm.
But I think that they have some new gags with this. They approach it in a unique way.
Yeah. Also just like so much of the physical comedy in this is like just perfect to me. It's like it's so precise,
Mm.
like the timing of it and like everyone's kind of movements. Um I was definitely reminded of how Jackie Chan has talked about how like influenced he was by silent comedy, and I think Harold Lloyd specifically.
Hmm.
And I think you can really see that in sort of like especially in like the Drunken Master movies and things like that where his movements are super loose, but you can tell how precise they are because it's like the jokes and like comedy of it is so like perfectly dialed in. Like I don't know, there's just a bit where he like jumps up onto a counter and then is like proud of it and falls off, and it's like very simple things but are just like so
Yeah,
well
it's
done.
really funny.
Yeah.
It's always kind of difficult to describe these slapstick movies on the
Right, because they're so
podcast because,
visual. Yeah.
yeah.
There's a really cool like double exposure shot to show someone's drunk eyesight of like double vision, and it's just a
Hmm.
shot of like Harold Lloyd walking down a hallway, but it's like it's just the same shot twice, but like slightly offset, so it's like "Ugh."
Yeah, yeah.
um uh so this sort of I guess like second half after he's kind of run afoul of the the coppers and things, um he runs into this woman who is suffers from sleepwalking or somnambulism, as some would say. Remember that word for later in the episode.
As some nambulists would say.
Yeah. And so there's the sort of like big climax of this movie is she's sleepwalking like around the outside of a building, like along this like small ledge. Um
Like 10 stories up or something.
yeah, and again it's like for at least one there's one wide shot where it's like she's definitely like up on a building very high up. And then so he's super drunk and he goes out to like get her back in. And he doesn't, I guess, realize how high up he is, so he's like casually kind of like leaning off the edge and like his like drunk footsteps, he's like almost stepping off but not, and it's like it's so crazy to think. So I don't think he actually shot this 10 stories up. I think there is some visual trickery going on where they built a fake wall on top of a roof
Hmm.
and then used an actual background of a street that was like very far down. And if you frame it just right, you can see like the wall and the windows and then the actual street in the background. And so it looks like they're way up high when there actually is probably a top of a roof or some kind of platform that if he did fall, he wouldn't actually fall 10 stories.
But it feels like he would.
Yes. And so I was legitimately on the edge of my seat watching this movie. It feels so actually dangerous what he's doing. And but
Yeah,
very funny. Like I was like stressed but also laughing so much at the hijinks.
yeah. Like he does all of this stuff that, like, when you really believe that he is standing so high in the air, which is a testament to the filmmaking.
Mhm.
And uh and so you're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe he is doing this," because he's like, you know, leaning, he's stumbling around in such a chaotic way that you're like he looks out of control. He looks completely out of control and like he's gonna just fall off at any second. And like you're gritting your teeth the entire time.
Yeah.
He, as you were saying, he like his feet kind of go off the edge. He almost does like a wily coyote, like uh you know, like the gulf below him doesn't exist until he notices it, kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
Um and yeah, that's like just an amazing, stunning scene. That I also was literally on the edge of my seat. I was like, my heart rate was elevated watching that scene.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's how they did it with like building a set on the roof, but I do know that other later Harold Lloyd movies did that same kind of visual trick. So that's I assume how they shot this because anything else would be actual insanity. But also, people were kind of actually insane making these movies back then. So who knows? Um, a sort of fun behind the scenes aspect of this is so at the end, Harold Lloyd his character is just the boy, and the sleepwalking woman is just the girl. And of course they get married at the end, but they did in real life too. So that's
Oh,
fun. Yeah. Um I don't know, just a lot of my notes are just like good joke. Great bit. Tiny dog under a hat. I love that.
that was cute.
Yeah.
Um, I also appreciate how in both of these films, and this is along the lines of the kind of advancements in style that we've seen,
Mhm.
um, that they are not sticking to that kind of like um, rigid two reeler pattern of
Mhm.
that was a thing before, which is like basically two one reel shorts that have a little bit to
Right.
do with each other slammed together. Like these ones are actually like developing a sense of story more, and a sense like they're letting them breathe a little more,
Mhm.
so that the Buster Keaton short, which is about half an hour, it's pretty much all one thing.
Yeah.
Um, and it versus like early Buster Keaton Arbuckle shorts, where it's kind of like two 15-minute
Right. It's
things.
like the first reel they're in the kitchen, and then the second reel they're in the dining room, or like yeah, first reel they're
Right.
in like butcher shop, second reel they're in Coney Island. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
First reel, he's on a boat. Second reel, he's in a restaurant.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and the High and Dizzy has like, it's kind of like a 5 minute slash 30 or like 25 minute structure.
Mhm.
Um, so they're not like, they feel less bound to um the reels themselves
Hmm.
than
Yeah.
than the older shorts did, and I think it's letting them feel more naturalistic as stories.
Yeah. They still, I guess, kind of have a bit of that structure of like High and Dizzy is like, all right, start in the doctor's office. Bunch of doctor's office jokes. All right, gonna move into a different location. A bunch of jokes here. Like it
Yeah.
still has that thing of like we're gonna move to a new location and we're gonna wring every joke we can out of this place, and then we're gonna move to a different place.
True, true. Although it reminds me, I've been showing my partner for the first time some classic episodes of The Simpsons, and she was remarking on how like the way that the thing that the episode is mainly about is like in a lot of classic episodes is completely like not like there's no way that you could guess what it is
Yeah,
based on like the way that the
yeah,
Simpsons episode starts, which is a really fun thing that the Simpsons does, I think, you know, but it does feel kind of similar in a way.
yeah. And I'm sure like as we keep watching these, we'll notice even more like I don't know, I'm always very much struck by like I've seen some silent comedy shorts, but like I'm so much more used to seeing like Looney Tunes or The Simpsons or like newer things that I've been exposed to more, and I'm consistently struck with like how much of them are clearly kind of taking from like these kind of classic slapstick silent films.
Hmm.